Good morning, Louise,
Morning, Rob.
and good morning to everybody who's watching this episode of God is Supernatural, or maybe you're listening to us on Urban Gospel Network, Internet Radio, great gospel network station. Check them out online. Great to have you with us. Our verse is 1 Corinthians 2:4. My message and my preaching were not with wise and persuasive words, but with a demonstration of the Spirit's power. Verse 5, so that your faith might not rest on human wisdom, but on God's power. So our witness should be in a demonstration of God rather than a performance of man. That should be
Amen.
our dream and our aim. So, Louise, we're in the summer period. People are gone on their holidays, but God is still here, is he not?
Absolutely. Yeah, in amazing ways.
Yeah,
Um,
so I mean we do less, but we're going to share a testimony, guys, in a moment that we didn't have time to pick up on our last session from our online healing rooms. So we'll do that, and if we've got time, we'll just share a little bit about the well, shall we, Louise?
yeah,
Our last well experience, and just particular family, and no names, but that was an amazing
yeah,
demonstration of God's grace and mercy.
yeah. It was such a privilege to be involved in, just to see the Holy Spirit moving, wasn't it, even on children?
My gosh, if only all our children in church were experiencing that, we would be, I mean, meeting God. Uh, it's such a grounding experience when there's such an unmistakable measure of his presence on you. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah,
So, first of all, this is going back to online healing rooms, which have taken a break for the summer. Although before I go further, guys, on September the 13th, in like 3 weeks' time, maybe 4 weeks' time, around that time, we have Chuck Parry, who is the director of the Bethel Healing Rooms from Redding, California. He is with us on Saturday the 13th for the morning, a morning of miracles. He is a wonderful guy. He's got an incredible life story, God life story, and miracles follow him. So sign up, come along. Places are limited. Our venue's not huge, so if you don't sign up and it's full, you're not getting in. That doesn't inspire you, I don't know what will. But in the online healing room, we had a lady who came in wanting physical healing for her ears and tinnitus. So, so we're going to look at that. But actually, there's a story of revelation here and how we apply revelation, just how supernatural it is. That's one of the key themes of this story, isn't it, Louise?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So she actually came, as you say, asking for physical healing for tinnitus. So that's a ringing in her ears.
Yeah.
But the team didn't jump straight in with praying for that. As we always do, they invited the Holy Spirit. And they just got a sense that she had a wild, burning heart for God, but there was no direction. She was given specific words about her childhood and words that had been spoken over her as a child. But also, something that really had a major impact on her was what one of the team members, they had a picture of her walking across hot coals, and they said that there was direction there because she wanted to get across those coals.
Yeah,
Um,
as you do.
Sorry.
As you do when you're.
Absolutely, yeah. You're not thinking about standing around on hot coals, are you? You just
uh,
get a move on and go. But actually, this lady revealed that she had actually walked across hot coals in 2014 at a conference. She was quite specific, and she told us she'd walked 100 meters on hot coals outside the Excel Centre, and the purpose was just to experience how you can cope with things outside her comfort zone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess this really is something outside of the natural realm, isn't it? The team had never met this lady before.
Yeah.
They only knew what she had told them, and she certainly hadn't told them about walking over hot coals. So this was really relevant and really speaking to her.
Yeah.
At
And
that point.
that's what we were encouraging, because the prophetic can be so I don't know, hard to tell whether this is something from God, particularly when it's like a uh, directive in some way, or that I feel God's calling you into this kind of ministry.
Yeah,
So, Louise, I've got a word for you. I just feel God's calling you to a real pastoral ministry to um, young youth, young youth. How do you? It's so general, isn't it? I mean, and it could be true. I feel pastoral, but is it true? So we really encourage people, particularly if there's word for the church. If we're going to share something for the church, but also this is part of what we want people to get to a level of in personal prophetic ministry to other people. Does the word clearly break through the natural realm? And a word
mm,
like pastoral ministry to youth, it doesn't, because there's no facts or figures or information that couldn't have been known
yeah,
because nothing's been shared there. But this clearly does, because no one knew her and no one knew. How many people have actually walked over 100 meters in hot
certainly not me.
no,
No, no,
yeah. But there
yeah.
was more, wasn't there? I mean, this was a really breakthrough supernatural revelation moment here for her.
Yeah, so the team also felt that the Holy Spirit was saying that her ministry was deliverance. But again, this was breaking through the natural realm, because she actually went on to tell them that she had just, as we had, she'd been to the Healing Rooms conference,
Yeah,
and she had been really inspired by a talk by a lady called Donna Howells on deliverance. And actually, as a result of that, she had gone to Donna's church and attended a conference there on deliverance with some of her friends. And she had also received deliverance herself at that conference. So again, they did not know any of this. So a real prophetic word that was again just breaking through the natural realm.
yeah. And I mean, that absolutely is a kind of word that people often get. God's given you a real deliverance ministry or miracle or signs and wonders ministry, and we all think, yeah, I'd love that. And but is this from God? I mean,
Yeah,
actually, her whole, there was such a lot of her life story that we didn't know, that the team didn't know, that actually was confirming.
yeah. It's almost like she'd acted out what was kind of been spoken over her already, hadn't she? She'd already seen some of that in
Yeah,
her own life.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she's had quite a lot of deliverance experience in her life, both receiving it. She's been along to some of our events actually. Well,
Yes.
been along to one of our events with Adrian Galvin,
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
deliverance minister.
Absolutely. Um, so as she explained to the team that what they were describing, it was her current situation, and she told them that she was aware that she was doing too much, and that she needed to put boundaries in. So she said that she had already done that. The team ministered to her in other situations. I spoke about childhood things that came up, and she was through that. She was just reassured of God's deep love for her. She received healing in this. I guess this session was about 20 minutes. A lot happened, But she said that she recognized that God wanted her to release the pain, and so that she could move forward with purpose.
So she came for physical healing, tinnitus. So this was all unexpected, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
So let's kind of round the story off. What about the tinnitus?
Well, she said that she's very grateful to, it's still there, but she's very grateful to have experienced a change in the volume of that tinnitus. It was
Yeah,
much quieter. So, you know, if we'd paid for that kind of treatment and gone away with that degree of change in the level of volume, we'd be really happy, wouldn't we? And she certainly was on the night.
well, to be much quieter. Yeah, I mean, I pay money for that, lots of money for that. Yeah,
Absolutely. And it just shows the spiritual ties with the physical. They hadn't,
yeah,
from what the team said, I don't think they even specifically prayed for the tinnitus because of all this other stuff that was coming up.
yeah,
But it was definitely tied to all this stuff that was going on in her life.
yeah. Sounds like it. It sounds like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
really encouraging, and very prophetic. And it's just wonderful that the guys, God speaks to us from His realm, supernatural realm, and He allows what we say to break through the natural realm because it either we're giving information that we couldn't possibly have known other than by His Spirit, or the timing is uncanny because we don't know the circumstances that this is now tying into. But that's the level of the prophetic that we want to encourage you to, because God's got it.
Her words were that the session had been life changing
Yeah,
because Jesus used the situation just to give her focus and direction,
yeah,
which is amazing.
it is amazing. It is amazing. Let's talk about the well. So the well is a place where you drink, you get life-giving water. So, and that's the name for our event, repairing events. Roughly, I don't know. It's I mean, maybe we should do it more, Louise. It's probably averaging every 6 weeks, I guess,
Yeah.
between 1 and 2 months. To receive the Holy Spirit, to receive more of the Holy Spirit. Um, Caveat, this is not chasing experiences. Some people might think that. This is about being in touch with God's realm, his realm, the realm that he dwells in by his Spirit. So being filled with the Spirit, being filled again this should be our normal state. Paul says, be filled, keep on being filled. This is the realm we should be living in, out of which we minister. So that's what it is, guys. Everybody should be there, in my view. But we see tremendous, I mean, the Holy Spirit just doing some amazing stuff. So we had this family who, the mother has been on our Kingdom First, and her life has been radically transformed, has it not?
It has, definitely, in so many ways.
In so many ways. And we could probably, actually, we could probably share, well, we will need to be sharing about some of those testimonies in later episodes, Louise. But so she was going to be bringing her young son, 10 years old, daughter, what, 15, 16,
16, yeah.
16, and her neighbor, who she's recently led to the Lord.
Yeah.
Neighbor couldn't come.
Yes.
Neighbor couldn't come. So an unsaved friend of the daughter comes. So you were definitely doing some of the praying, both for her, the mother, and the son, weren't you? And maybe
Yeah.
even the daughter.
Yes.
Tell us what was happening. Stuff was
Yes.
happening.
Sorry, say that again.
Stuff was happening. Tell
This
us.
is definitely happening. So, for mum, first of all, there was shaking, there were tears, but there was also laughter as well. And she actually said to me afterwards that through the laughter, she felt she was experiencing some healing for stuff that had come up in the past and she has begun to deal with. But obviously healing's a process, and she was feeling that in that laughter, that's what she was receiving. I think initially she was trying to stop it. This is, we're in the church building, I shouldn't be laughing. But I just encouraged her that this is the joy of the Lord, and it just came out in kind of big bursts all of a sudden.
It's ironic because I know she was trying to repress it, but I actually, as you were saying that, I was feeling it was healing from repression.
Yeah, definitely. And then praying for her son. So he's only 10. I've never met him until that evening. I'm not too sure. He is a Christian, but I'm not too sure what his experience of the baptism in the Holy Spirit is or was. Initially, so we have two sittings. One group prays for the other group, and then we swap round. So initially, he chose to sit out for the first time of prayer, and he just watched. And there was lots of wonderful stuff happening, because we feedback after the first session and people say what the Holy Spirit was doing and what they were experiencing. So for the second round of prayer, he came and stood with me and his mum, and together we prayed for his mum first. And while his mum was still receiving, I just asked if he wanted prayer, and he said yes.
Yeah.
So I began to pray for him, and you could just immediately just see the Holy Spirit on him. His hands were shaking. His skin just looked kind of glowy.
Right, yeah.
And I was kind of praying between mum and him. There was a lot going on. And I just turned to go back and pray for him at one point, and noticed he was sobbing, like he had tears that were just rolling down his cheeks onto his T-shirt. And I just whispered to him, "You don't need to worry about tears. It's the Holy Spirit." And he was just like, "Yes, I know, it's good." And there was no shame, no embarrassment from him at all, which I was worried there might be.
Yeah.
And he shared, didn't he, through his mum. He didn't want to speak out kind of vocally, but he whispered to mum what he was experiencing. And he said he felt joy. Even though there was tears, he also said that he felt joy in that moment as well.
And you're right, it's a real baptism of the Holy Spirit, because I don't think he's ever experienced that.
No. Yeah. And it was just such a privilege to stand there seeing a 10-year-old being baptized in the Holy Spirit. And I was just like, more, Lord, more of this.
Yeah, gosh, I want all our 10-year-olds. I mean, I think we need to share, you know what, we should share that in church again, and just kind of unpack that, because our children grew up in a world of lots of choices and temptations. So to experience the Holy Spirit in such a powerful way is such a grounding experience, tethers you into the Lord and His world, and it's going to take a lot to convince you that the Lord isn't real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of rooted him, hasn't it? Yeah.
Yes, rooted is the word. Yeah, in rooted in God's realm.
Yeah.
Hard to be shaken when you're there. But the daughter as well. So were you praying there?
Yes, not all of the time, but again, she just looked like she was glowing, and for her there was a lot of her hands were shaking. And when she fed back at the end, she said that inwardly she was praying into a situation that was happening in her life.
Yeah.
And I think she said that at that moment when she was saying those prayers, that you came along and prayed exactly what she was praying into that situation. Again, not the natural realm, because you don't know her, you've never met her. So again, a real powerful encounter for her there.
Yeah, definitely. That I mean, time's gone on, but just very quickly, the mother, own mother, came along um, from abroad, Catholic background, never experienced the Holy Spirit before, so she got prayed for. She was swaying, leaning tower pizza. Is she going to fall or not? She did, but just that, also that glow on her face, which when we were sharing, the glow wasn't there. So it's that kind of sunset glow that comes on people's faces. But the friend, not a Christian, also wanted to be prayed for in the second sitting. And so the teenage daughter was praying for him, and one of our guys was praying for him. And so, I mean, he was just really experiencing the Holy Spirit. His legs were turning to jelly, shaking. So I can't
Yeah.
remember what he said was happening inside. Can you remember?
I can't remember, but he definitely wants to come back. I do remember
Yeah,
that afterwards I was told. So it was definitely a positive experience for him. I'm not sure he's taken that step into to being born again yet, but he's obviously recognised it's good and wants more.
yeah, yeah. He's on that journey. He is on that journey. My goodness, so time's flown, Louise. Louise, thank you for that. Guys, remember you were born again for this kind of life, to move in the power of the Holy Spirit. If you don't know how to do it, join us. We do a load of stuff, training. Come on, Kingdom First. Kingdom First Year One starts in October. First week of October, sign up. You will be discipled and trained along with a bunch of others. It'll be the beginning of the most exciting part of your life. Do join us. God bless you. See you next time.